It is not necessarily true. Not necessarily true. You really cannot directly equate low views equal low video quality. YouTube system is way more complex than that. Especially in your case, new channel plus new account plus long form videos plus personal expressive content, stalking, all of that together already puts you in one of the hardest categories for early traction. A lot of people misunderstand this part. As long as the content is good, the platform will naturally push it. But in reality, the platform does not prioritize quality first. It prioritizes click probability and watch retention probability. From what I remember, you mentioned before, your videos have a few characteristics, often long form, 17 minutes, even 1 hour and 20 minutes, slow, reflective, live stream style pacing, not many rapid sense changes, more like a real life recording plus inner monologue. A brand new channel, titles and thumbnail still in an experimental phase. This kind of content is actually much closer to early vlogs or personal documentary style filmmaking rather than fast consumption algorithm content. The issue is at the beginning, YouTube doesn't know who you are. It also doesn't know who to recommend your video to. So it starts with a very small test pool, maybe 10, 20, or 50 impressions. If those first viewers don't click, the system stops testing it further. That doesn't necessarily mean your video has no value. More often, it just means the system hasn't found the right audience yet. And the distinction is very important. There's also another key point right now. Your content is closer to self expression than audience designed content. That's not a criticism, just two completely different creative directions. For example, you might be recording driving, traffic, alcohol, night scenes, everyday life atmosphere, loneliness, thoughts about life. These things is absolutely have artistic value. In fact, a lot of art films, documentaries, and Japanese style vlogs are exactly built on this kind of mood. But from the viewer's perspective, they will ask, why should I click this? What am I going to get from this? What makes this different from everything else? YouTube viewers decide extremely fast. For new creators especially, people give you maybe 1 to 3 seconds before swiping away. So often, the problem isn't that the content is bad, it is that the packing doesn't make strangers want to enter the video. Compare these two. I went out for a walk today. At 1 a.m., I drove alone to an empty garden. The second one immediately creates imaginary and emotion. There is also an uncomfortable but important truth. What you like to create is not always what mass audience like to watch. And what mass audience like is not always what you want to create. That's one of the hardest tension for creators. So at this point, you basically have three passes. First, keep creating exactly the way you want, but you have to accept long periods of low views, small audience, more like a personal video diary. It still has meaning, but it's real documentation. Second, fully optimized for the algorithm, focused on titles, thumbnails, pacing, trends, emotional hooks, short form structure. This grows faster, but many people gradually lose their sense of self in the process. Third, and I think the most suitable for you, keep your authenticity, but learn how to make it easier for people to enter your world. For example, slightly shorter videos, clearer hook in the first 10 seconds, more visual variety, more emotional, compelling titles, make it obvious why someone should stay. You actually have a late night reflective monologue kind of vibe that does have an audience. It really does. But this type usually grows slowly, needs long-term accumulation, requires a consistent atmosphere, doesn't spike quickly. Many creators who later became appreciated have almost no traction in their first 100 videos. So the first question isn't why is nobody watching? It's more like, am I trying to chase numbers or am I trying to express something? And am I willing to refine how I express it over time? If you are only making videos to get external validation through numbers, it will become painful because the platform's feedback is harsh and often random. But if you are genuinely trying to record, express, and preserve a certain emotional world, then low earlier views are simply part of the process almost everyone goes through.